Hey guys, good morning. A little technical difficulties logging on, but here we are. I'm going to give just a couple of minutes for people to join in. If you're new, even if you're not, my name is Valerie, and I'm one of the yoga teachers and health coaches here with Bounty and Soul. And Danielle and I take turns teaching this class on Tuesdays from 9:15 to 10. We might go a little bit later than 10 today to get you a little bit longer Shavasana. I'm going to give just a couple of minutes here for folks to join in. And because these are stored or kept on our Bounty and Soul Facebook page, even if you're not able to join us live, you can come back to these anytime, any of the classes. Just scroll through to find them. It's a gentle flow, all levels flow. I'll try to give some modifications. But just remember that this is your yoga. So anytime that you want to mix it up a little, add a little, slow down, pause and breathe, pause in child's pose, that those are always options. And any requests before we get going today? Anything anybody wants to work on in particular? If not, I'm going to jump in just a minute so we can get started. I'll try to keep my eye on the comments when I'm on the mat. It's a little hard to see, but I'll try to keep my eye to see if anybody's posting there. All right, you guys, let's get started. Also, just let me know if you have any issues hearing me. I'm going to have some music going in the background, but if that is distracting, sorry, my dog is eyeing me over there. If that's distracting, I can turn that down. All right, you guys, let's get on our mats and breathe and move together. Take the glasses off now. Let's see. All right, how is everybody this morning? It's so interesting, you guys, in this format to not be able to connect physically. In our classes, there's so much shared energy and space together, and we still share that energy virtually, right? But sometimes it can take a little time to get used to that and tuning into that. So again, feel free to post in the comments or just be where you are. So let's begin by taking a few breaths, breathing in through the nostrils. Sorry, my dog's kind of moving around the room here. So we're going to breathe in through the nostrils. First few breaths out through the mouth with a sigh. A couple more of those. Maybe even moving the mouth. Stretching the mouth and jaw on the exhale. And then transitioning to Ujjayi breath or ocean breath. That's breathing in through the nostrils, through the chest, the ribs, all the way into the belly, pausing, and then the exhale also through the nostrils. We'll take a few more breaths like that. And as you are coming into this breath, just beginning to scan the body. So continuing, breathing in through the nostrils, allowing that breath to come all the way down, chest, ribs, belly, back up, ribs, chest, nostrils. And just noticing where the feet and legs and thighs are making contact with the floor. Noticing the sits bones and sacrum, where you're making contact with the floor or chair or mat. Noticing the spine, the belly. Noticing the fingers and hands, the elbows, the arms and shoulders. If you'd like to touch parts of the body as we move through. That can be grounding or not. Noticing the ribs, the chest, back of the neck and back of the neck, the jaw, face. Noticing the crown. Inhaling as you exhale, releasing the chin towards the chest, just letting the head hang. Drawing the right ear to right shoulder. So I'm not going to mirror. That seems to work best in this video format. If you guys prefer mirroring, that's when I'm moving in the same direction as you guys. Let me know. I can adjust. You guys hear me okay? So we're just going to continue with this movement. And next time you have right ear to right shoulder, extending that right arm out, palm facing up, bending the right arm, placing the palm on the outside of the ear or jaw. Gentle pressure, hand on the jaw. Gently pressing the jaw and head back towards the hand. And then releasing that right hand to the floor, keeping your eye on that grounded palm. Extending the left hand up, making circles with the wrist. And making a fist, squeezing the fingers, opening, squeeze, and open. And then turning the gaze up towards that extended palm. Inhale as you allow that hand to float back. Exhale, reaching forward. So that left palm reaches forward. Right out to the side, drawing the left hip back. Drawing both hips back, so feeling really grounded at the sits bones. And then sweeping that right hand around. Both palms grounded on the floor. There's my palms. Inhaling, looking up. Exhale, folding forward. So palms might stay pretty close to the shins here, or for some of you it might be walking out a little further. But inhale as you ground the palms, extend the spine. Exhale, folding forward. 2 more. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold and hold here, or option to hold here. 3 breaths. Again, feeling really grounded through the sits bones. Imagine somebody's drawing the lower back down and back. Or not lifting up off your mat, bolster or blanket. So like walking the hands back. And inhaling the arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Releasing the hands to the lap. Inhale, and as you exhale, releasing the chin towards the chest. This time drawing the left ear to left shoulder. And then grounding that left hand, keeping the gaze initially on the left palm as you extend the right arm up, making circles in both directions. So in the Tuesday class, you guys, we have a lot of folks that are practicing yoga in a chair. I try to remember in this to make fists, squeeze, and release, to give modifications for the chair. So you could be doing all these things seated with feet on the floor. And then inhale, looking up towards that extended arm. Inhale, releasing the palm back, so really opening the chest, opening the pectoralis muscles. Inhale as you exhale, reaching forward, grounding that right palm on the floor, extending the left palm out, drawing the hips back. So really feeling a long spine. And inhale, sweeping that arm around, grounding the palms again, pressing the palms into the earth. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. You decide, hands can be really close into the body here and make it a really tiny movement, or it can be further out and folding down towards the floor. One's not better than the other, you guys, they're just different. Our bodies are different. What your body's needing today might be different from tomorrow. So just honoring where you are. And fold and hold. Maybe 3 breaths here. And slowly coming up. Let's inhale the arms up again. Exhaling hands to heart center. So pausing here for just a moment. Maybe rubbing the thumbs into the sternum here. Can be activating for immunity, which is good, right? And coming back to the breath. And so if you like to set an intention for your practice today, maybe the intention is just for this time together this morning. Maybe it's an intention for the week ahead, for the month, or the remainder of 2020. I'm just taking a few breaths into that intention if there's something that has come forth for you. And then releasing the hands to your lap palms facing up. And just maybe mentally stating or out loud, I mean, if you're by yourself or not, but making an affirmation that you are open to that intention, that you're open to receiving all that might come with that intention, visualizing what that might look like in your life. Nice, you guys. And inhaling up. Exhale, lowering the right hand to the floor. Extending the left arm overhead. Staying really grounded again through the sits bones and the hips. So stretching all along the left side of the body here. In between the ribs. Inhaling up. Exhaling, grounding the left hand. Extending over the right. I wish I could see your beautiful faces, you guys. We're probably all zoomed out, right, of doing Zoom meetings, but I guess that is one nice thing, you can see each other. And one more time to each side. Inhaling back to center. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale to center. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Bringing the left hand to the outside of the right knee, coming up onto the fingertips of the right hand. Inhale, finding length in the spine. Exhale, looking over towards the right shoulder. Keeping the chin towards the right shoulder. So the chin and head are turning towards the right, but turning your gaze towards the left. Gaze all the way to the right, gaze to the left. Head stays still, just the eyeballs are moving. And inhaling back to center. Exhale, twisting to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, finding length in the spine. Exhale. And then again, the chin and head maybe are turning towards this left shoulder, but extending the gaze as far to the left as you can and as far back to the right. So really expanding your peripheral vision. And then inhaling back to center, exhaling hands to heart center. And then let's go ahead and come on to hands and knees. I'm going to work my way there. If you need a blanket or anything on the floor for you for your knees, option to do that. I'm going to just spread mine out since I've got it. You guys, my dog is totally stalking me this morning, so he may make a cameo appearance. We'll see if Dylan joins us today. All right, so coming onto hands and knees into tabletop. Let's come into cat-cow. So inhaling, lifting the chin, lifting the tailbone. Exhaling, pressing the palms into the mat, drawing chin towards the chest, navel towards the spine. So this you can go as slow as you like if you're feeling a call to that slower movement. I mentioned in the post earlier that because this is a gentle class, if you want to add some more fire to your post, you could to your practice, you could do some sun salutations or other more active flow. With cat-cow, if you want to make that a little more fiery, we can inhale, and then on the exhale, release with a ha. So like a loud exhale through their throat. So that would look like this. Inhaling. Ha, ha, ha. So that's just an option. If that's not where you are today, you can stay. Inhale deep into the belly. Exhale. Your choice. I think I'm going to give that option for that little more fiery breath today with in a few other places. And then this time, as you exhale, lowering the tailbone down towards the ankles, the nose kind of skims the mat. Inhale up. Exhale. And coming back up to tabletop. So finding some fluid movement here. So bending the elbows is one option. Bending the elbows and the torso comes down toward the floor. Whatever fluid movement that you're finding, making sure that you go in both directions. And remember, you guys could be doing this seated too. So if you're seated, you guys keep going on the tabletop, but seated, you might be, doing something like this, and your cat-cow would be coming forward and exhale, right? Okay. Some other movements that might feel good here are coming all the way back and forward and around here, or maybe keeping the upper body still and just making movement with the pelvis. Again, if whatever you're doing, make sure to go in both directions. Beautiful, yes. All right, so I'll do a little time check. Okay. All right, so staying in tabletop. Inhale as you exhale. We're going to step the left foot back and just gently rocking back and forth. If you are seated, you have that left foot extended out, heel on the floor, and gently pointing and flexing the foot. So what we're getting is a nice calf stretch here. All right, so inhale, we're gonna lift that back leg. So option here for a more fiery breath or a slower, gentle movement. So inhale, and as you exhale, drawing the knee into the chest. That's one option with a slow breath. Or you can inhale, extend, and then as you exhale and draw the knee in, come back to that ha breath. So inhale, exhale, ha, ha, ha. All right, so your choice. 3 more with the breath of your choice. 3 more drawing the knee into the chest. I'm just pausing here. I'm going to come back to this slower breath. It's a little warm in my house right now. And inhale, extend, dropping that back foot, dropping the left foot, pivoting, anchoring down through the right palm. Inhale, opening up. So finding circles with the wrist. And maybe circles with the arm in both directions. Extending that arm up. So really rooting down through that grounded foot. Option to lift that leg up, or you can stay right here, you guys, foot on the floor. Option to lift up, other option to reach back, grab the top of the foot, or stretching quadricep muscles. And inhale, slowly coming out. Inhale as you exhale, lowering down. And lower the knee to the floor, spreading the knees wide, coming into a child's pose, legs spread wide, or knees together, your choice. We'll stay here for about 5 to 10 breaths. So while you're here in child's pose, coming back to the breath, an invitation to come back to your intention if there was something that came up for you today. If not, that's okay. But if something did come up for you, just coming back to that with the breath. And again, maybe visualizing how that would look and feel if that intention were to manifest and come forth. Maybe turning the palms upward again, and that receiving position. I say this a lot, you guys, in my classes, and I think that's just from my own experience as not being a great receiver for a long time, just how important it is to set that intention as well, right? A lot of times there's things that we want that we aren't really open to them. We aren't really open to receiving them, or we haven't imagined that kind of next step. And then slowly coming back up, coming back to tabletop. Let's see. All right, so I'm just switching sides for you guys. Everybody doing okay out there? Anybody commenting? Checking in. All right. Inhale, and as you exhale, this time we're stepping the right foot back. So again, if you are seated, you'd be extending that right leg out, heel on the floor, and pointing and flexing the toe. We're going to rock back and forth. So you feel that in your calves. And then we're going to inhale and lift that leg. Your choice on the exhale as we draw the knee into the chest. That can be a gentle exhale, or it can be a more fiery exhale. So inhale, lifting that leg. Exhale, drawing the knee into the chest. Inhale, extend. The more fiery breath would look like this. Inhale. Ha! 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 Or you can slow it down. 2 more. And extending that leg out, grounding the sole of the right foot, rooting down through the left palm. Inhale, opening up. Running circles. Moving in both directions, squeezing the palms and opening. And inhale. Again, you might want to experiment with lifting that back leg. Or not. And if you bent and came into a quadricep stretch here last time, you can try on the other side. Slowly releasing that leg. Inhale, and as you exhale, lowering down. And let's come back into child's pose one more time. Knees spread wide. Releasing the head towards the mat. And slowly coming back up to tabletop. So we're going to come into a little low lunge today. So starting from tabletop. Inhaling, and as you exhale, you're going to step the right foot forward. So if downward facing dog is part of your practice, you could come into this from downward facing dog, or you can just step forward here from tabletop. Okay, so we're bringing the right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. So maybe for balance, you might want to bring your hands to the right knee. And then option, you can keep the hands here, or option to extend the arms up. Relaxing the shoulders, feeling that stretch all along the front of the left side of the body. That psoas muscles. Inhaling, and as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to either side of that front leg. You can also use blocks here, you guys. Blocks can be nice here. Inhaling, and as you exhale, I'm going to straighten that front right leg, coming to a runner stretch. Inhale, coming forward to that low lunge, really drawing that left hip forward. Exhale, stretching that right leg as much as possible. Again, I don't have my blocks here, but blocks or books or anything like that might be helpful if your hamstrings are really tight, right? Because your arms would be up just a little higher. And then coming forward, back to that low lunge. We're going to bring both hands inside of the front foot, coming into dragon pose. I'll show you from this angle too. You might be able to see it a little better. Okay, so hands are on the inside of that front right foot, squeezing the shoulder towards the knee, knee towards the shoulder. Hey, Carla. All right. So some of you might say here, this might be plenty deep of a stretch for your thighs, right? Or you might come down onto a bolster, block, blanket, or all the way down on the forearms. I want to come back to the side, but hopefully that was helpful just to see what you're doing. We're going to stay here for another 5 breaths or so. So totally your choice. You can be up high or you can come down onto the forearms. Just make sure you can still find the breath. Sometimes when we go to kind of a new place in a pose, we might begin to hold the breath. So if going down to the floor means you're holding your breath, either find the breath or come back up. 2 more breaths here. And then bringing the hands to the outside of that foot, back to your lunge. Stepping the knee back, coming back to tabletop. And let's do a few cat-cows or whatever kind of movement feels good to reset. Nice. All right. And then inhaling. So let's come back to child's pose one more time for just a couple of breaths here. And inhaling back up to tabletop. We're going to come into our lunge on the opposite side. Again, you can come into that right here from tabletop, or you can come up into downward facing dog, excuse me, and step the left foot forward. So just in order to stay in the frame, I'm going to do it from tabletop. That's always an option to come through downward facing dog. And then once you get set, again, you could have blocks here. You could use books or anything for some height. And inhaling up. And really releasing through this front right hip. Feeling the stretch here. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hands to the outside of that left foot. Stretching and straightening the left foot. Runner stretch. So finding your flow. Inhaling as you come forward. Exhaling as you come back. So if you were in a chair looking for a modification with this, you could be seated and drawing the knee into the chest and then extending the leg out long, straight in front of you. And then next time that you come forward, bringing the hands, both hands to the inside of that left foot, palms pressed into the floor, squeezing the left knee towards the left shoulder, outside of the left arm. Really breathing in again to that extension and stretch on the front of the right hip. And then decide for about 5 to 7 breaths, you can stay here, or maybe it's available to come down onto the forearms. Maybe that would feel better with a little height on a bolster, blanket, whatever you have. So you decide. It can still be super deep stretch up here, you guys. Again, making sure that you're still connected to the breath. And bringing hands to either side of that extended front leg. And stepping back. And let's come on over onto your backs. I'll meet you there. In this space. A little tone check. Everybody doing all right? Okay. Let's just pause here for a moment. Knees bent. Arms by your side. And walk the feet out to the outer edges of the mat. Extend your arms out to the side. Inhale, and as you exhale, allow the knees to fall to the left, head to the right. Inhaling back through center, knees to the right, head to the left. And a few more times, couple more times to each side. You can decide if that is a slower movement or a faster movement. And then keeping the feet towards the outer edges of the mat, we're going to allow the knees to fall in and rest on each other. See if you can relax the back, relax the lower back. And then walking the feet towards center. Let's extend that left leg long. So we're doing a lot of stretches today for the hips and also the front of the hips. The psoas muscle that attaches at the base of the spine wraps around the front of the hip here and attaches. And those muscles can easily get tight and shortened, especially if we sit a lot. So inhale, lifting that left arm overhead. We're stretching all along the left side of the body. Option to stay here, or inhaling, and as you exhale, reaching the left fingers towards the left toes. Maybe they touch, or maybe they're, far apart. Either is fine. For the flow, if you choose to flow, so you can stay with that left arm extended, or inhale, and as you exhale, reaching fingers towards the toes. Inhale up. And then inhale, extending long again, really reaching those left fingertips over the head, extending the heel towards the front of you. Inhale, and as you exhale, drawing the right knee into the chest. Let's make some circles with the knee. So if you had a light on your knee, you'd be drawing circles or spirals on the ceiling. Making this in both directions. And then inhaling, and as you exhale, we're going to draw that right leg across the body, coming into a cat stretch. So you could have a bolster, blanket, pillow, something along your left side. Inhale, and as you exhale, you don't have to have that, though, you guys. Don't worry if you don't have anything there. That's totally fine. So your right leg's coming towards the floor, extending both arms out to the side. Lifting the shoulders a little, lowering the right shoulder towards the floor. Turning the head towards the right. So just noticing that interplay between what's happening with the right leg, especially the knee, as the knee comes to the floor. Maybe that right shoulder is lifting a little. As the shoulder comes to the floor, the knee probably lifts a little. You want to give yourself a little adjustment. You could give yourself a little massage along the IT band that runs from the outside the hip to outside the knee. You could gently push the hip down and away from the ribs. Or you could just be here. And then coming back to center. All right, so we're going to do tree pose on the floor. Again, we don't do a lot of standing poses in this class, partly just because of camera limitations. So right knee is drawn into the chest. We're going to release that right leg towards the floor, knee is bent. So wherever your foot normally comes in tree pose, so that might be the sole of the foot is at the ankle, the sole of the foot is at the calf, or the sole of the foot is coming all the way up into the thigh. Just like in standing tree pose, though, we don't want to press the sole of the foot into the knee. And then option for your branches, just like in standing pose, they could be out to the side. You could have hands at heart center. You could have your arms overhead. So just like in the standing pose, the standing version of tree pose, imagine really rooting that left leg. So extending that left leg long, extending the heel long, flexing the foot, relaxing the left hip down towards the mat. Maybe 2 more breaths here. And then drawing both knees into the chest, gently rocking from side to side. I'm going to change sides so I think you guys can see better that way. So gently rocking from side to side. Knees drawn into the chest. And then we're going to keep that left leg bent, extending the right leg long, extending the right arm overhead this time. And pausing here first, just extending through the right fingertips overhead, relaxing the spine, relaxing lower back, actively sending the heel away from the body. And if this is feeling amazing, stay right here. Or if you'd like to add to it, inhale. And as you exhale, drawing the fingers towards the toes. Again, they might not be reaching each other. They might just be like saying hello. That's totally fine. Inhale as you lengthen, and there's space for that belly to expand. Exhale, drawing it in. 3 or so more. And releasing, extending long. Inhale, and as you exhale, drawing the left knee into the chest and finding circles here. Making sure circles go in both directions. And then inhaling, and as you exhale, again, if you have a blanket, bolster, pillow, something like that handy, it can be nice as you come to this twist to rest there, but totally not necessary. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're drawing this time the left leg across the body. Moving your stuff out of the way. And extending arms out to the side. Turning your gaze towards the left. And again, just noticing that interplay between the leg and the shoulder, maybe lifting the right shoulder as you lower the left a little. Allowing that left leg to feel heavy and drawn to the earth. If you wanted to give yourself a little adjustment again, giving a little massage all the way from insertion point here down to the outside of the knee, or gently pressing the hip away from the ribs. Do a little time check. How are we doing on time, guys? All right. Inhaling, coming back to center. Let's do another rocking from side to side. Just taking a moment for any kind of pose or movement that you feel like your body needs. We'll take about 3 minutes for that, 2 to 3 minutes for that before Shavasana, so you can stay here gently rocking back and forth. Maybe come into a happy baby, holding on to ankles or big toes. Maybe you want to extend the feet up, legs straight and arms out to the side, or come into a bridge, shoulder stand. Maybe you're ready to move into Shavasana. Be where your body wants to be for another minute or so. This is feeling good to me. And then as you're ready, finding your way onto your back for Shavasana. I'm going to pop up just to get some music for us for Shavasana, but you guys go ahead and find your way onto your back. And once you're on your back, arms by your sides, palms facing up. So palms facing up while we're on our back. It helps in terms of alignment, of the physical alignment, right? It helps to bring our shoulder blades into position, to relax the shoulders, to open the chest. But again, that energetic piece of heart open, of hands open to receive. Letting the universe know, letting ourselves know, reminding ourselves that we're open to that we want to receive, right? And to what we want to give. All right, I'm finding what we want. All right, so coming to the breath. You're just noticing for a minute or so in the same way that we did. And seated, noticing the feet, noticing the back of the calves, noticing the thighs, the lower back, the belly and hips, the chest, fingers and arms, shoulders, the neck and jaw, the crown, and then just releasing your attention to the body. Just allowing yourself this next few minutes to be here. This time of integration, to integrate the breath, the movement, and the stillness. What was lost, what was taken, so painfully withheld. Separation
joy. I am, I am, I am, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am. Through the earth, through the sky, through the water, through the mist in my eyes, your presence. Rising in my
Beginning to bring some awareness back to the body. First without movement.
singing through me.
Just noticing again where you're making contact with the mat, where you are, in the room that you're in your home, in this town. And then slowly beginning to find movement. In whatever way feels good to you. You know, we always talk about wiggling fingers and toes at the end of a yoga class, but if there's something else that feels right to you, if you want to bring whole arms and legs into it without knocking your drink over. Maybe turning the head from one side to the other. It might feel good to stretch. Arms overhead, heels in front of you. And release with a sigh. And then slowly coming on to one side. Pausing on your side. And then slowly finding your way up. And bringing hands together at heart center. Pausing to come back to your intention if you chose to set one today. Again, it's totally fine if you didn't. And in class on Tuesdays when we were sharing space in person, that class was before the market. And just a reminder that there is a market today at Bilo from 11 to 1, and I'll be scooting over there as soon as we're done here. So maybe I'll see some of you there. But I often like to pause at the end of that class and just take a moment to pause in gratitude. Gratitude for this time that we've been able to share together virtually. Gratitude to Bounty and Soul for creating the virtual space for this class, for the market, to all the volunteers and staff, to the farmers, the truck drivers, the people who work in the stores that pull that food from the shelves that ends up in our baskets. So many hearts and hands, you guys, that make the markets possible and that make this possible. And it's in that spirit of gratitude that the light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste and Satnam. So I hope everyone has a fabulous day. I hope I see some of you in real life at the market. Next week, Danielle will be teaching. And as always, if you guys have feedback for us about things that you would like to see or different formats for these classes, please don't hesitate to post in the comments or reach out with a private message. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. and see you soon.